T-Man 978 Show Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978 reviewing Transformers Generations Combiner Wars Deluxe Class Brawl. Here is Brawl's bio. Here is the cover of his included comic right here. You can see he done messed some fools up down there. Here's his extended bio. Pause as I scroll up unless you can read that fast. And here's this over here. And in the inside of the book, we have his sketch phase image right there. Gray model phase. And the finished product. Which you'll notice differs from the actual toy because he's actually a different shade of green. The toy is more of a doo-doo green. And right there we see he looks a lot more bulky right there in that preliminary sketch right there. And here is Brawl. His face kind of reminds me of Onslaught a little bit. And the top of his head kind of reminds me of, I don't know, I was thinking a Decepticon symbol, but it is very much different. You can see how good that red paint is on his visor because he doesn't have light piping. But let's zoom out and let you see his whole body. When I play with Brawl, I feel like two things. One, some designer at Takara put their foot down and said, I want to make these figures good. I want to make a figure that is definitely the character that it's supposed to be. And I want to put my all into it because the other characters or other figures are kind of lackluster. Either that or the first couple of waves of Combiner Wars Deluxes were rushed out. And now, after those waves were put out, they put some work into a couple of new molds and they figured out what they could get away with and what they couldn't. And they could get away with a lot when it comes to this figure. Because this figure has a lot of things the other ones don't. Like the knee joint right here. Like they actually put an extra piece right here instead of just making a flimsy looking knee right there. So his knee kinda, to me, looks better than a lot of the other Combiner Wars figures, knee-wise. Ankle pivot. The Rook Swindle mold had ankle pivot. This thing can pivot all the way over there. It can rock forward and actually lean back. So getting him in some good leg poses is so freaking easy. And I really appreciate and love that. Where he suffers in his design is this waist. Forward on or front on, it looks okay, but when you turn to the side, you see his waist is on a little wafer right there, which looks kind of weird, admittedly. It does have rotation right there. And unless you're paying a lot of attention to it, it won't bug you too much. One problem a lot of people have is their figure doesn't click right here into place. Mine's click, but it's not a very, very tight click. But it will stay. It's not flimsy floppy, so it will stay unless you actually do something to push it up. Or you just pull something that makes it pull up. But it will stay. Another piece of articulation that I don't believe any of the other Combiner Wars figure has. Ab crunch. So he can actually look down at the debris he's caused. Which is really, really cool. Just like the last two Combiner Wars figures I reviewed, his neck can't really look up. This one, he's not even on a ball joint at all. It just real swivels. I mean, if you're making him lean forward like this, you can push that back, and he actually doesn't look bad. Usually figures look bad when you bend their neck on a combiner joint, but this one doesn't look too bad. But another place he suffers are these shoulders right there, and these little bitty forearms. The shoulders can go out like this, but they bump right there, so he doesn't have a huge range of motion in the shoulder area. And then these little arms, when you bend them all the way, it kind of looks like they're just transformed. His arm just disappears and he just has a little hand right there, which is a bit weird. He does have this elbow joint, or his, I guess that would be a bicep joint. I don't know what you would call that, but that bends due to transformation. One way they could have made this better is if this whole block was his forearm, just a straight up block, and then the fist rotated out. That would have gave him longer arms. But overall, I really am satisfied with this figure. Back here, you can see they put his twin sonic blaster. It can actually fit and integrate with his design, which is nice. They even put an area right here for the thumb to sit. Like this transforms down, but it transforms up if you actually want to put this there. And the way they came up with this is very good to me. I really like that. His electron blaster is really his tank turret. It is hollow up the front right here, which is cool. That may look weird to some people, but it doesn't bother me. In his little extended bio, it says it never comes out of his hand, but you can slot it there on the side of his forearm, which is equally cool. So that's good either way. So, yeah. Like I said, besides this popping up every now and then, and the arms being a little bit weird, I am really satisfied with him. Transformation is pretty simple. You can lift this twin sonic blaster up and shove this gun turret into here. It actually pegs on the side so that it can rotate up and down like that. Lift that back up. Push his head down. Don't rotate it. It bumps into this combiner joint piece right here and doesn't really help the transformation. So after you do that, lift this up right there to cover his face up. Push the arms back like this. Put this like this and rotate these down into place. Come on. Yeah, there we go. So, yeah, put that together like that. Rotate the waist. Push the feet together and make sure the feet are together. Bend this piece, which is a little bit stiff, into place. Lift that up there like that. And you know how this works. Take the knee out of the little slide that it's in and rotate it down into place. Do that on both sides. Just put the legs together and basically shove all this up in there. Put that down and you have a tank, which is very cool. It does have 4 wheels that are very thin. I guess it probably would roll. Let's see. No, they don't really roll. They're way too small to roll. Like, they're not even spinning when they're spinning when I do this with the friction, but it doesn't really roll to me. The turret doesn't rotate, but it does look like a Brawlish tank. One thing that is weird, this hollowness back there and all this right here, covering up the back of the treads. I don't really like that too much, but I don't really care about it too much. But yeah, I love the way this looks. And like I said, the turret can raise up and down. And you don't have to have this up here. That's what it looks like without it. You could actually turn it upside down, peg it here. Actually, it doesn't peg in there too well. Or you can peg it on the side, which is a little bit difficult. Yeah, that's not pegging in there. Oh, there we go. That's good. But there you go with that. Leg mode. Take this piece, pull that out. The instructions say to lift this up and rotate it like that and put it in there. Of course, lift this up, which is a bit difficult to get to, and now you have a shin and foot. Arm mode, basically unpeg the arms right here, rotate them like this, put this back down here, rotate this way, put the legs back into their robot mode orientation, and they slot between this, the little plastic. Peg that back together, bring this like this. Let's move the turret out the way. Of course, put the hand right here. Oh, this is way tighter than that freaking hand I got on, who was it? Trailbreaker or Hound? I can't remember which one, but oh my god, that was horrible. I'm trying to see if this connects somewhere, but basically you get the drift. That's an arm now. He'll probably never be an arm because he's always a foot in G1. But there you go. But yeah, like I said, I like this figure. Satisfied with it. I wish the arms were better, but I can live with the way the arms are right now. They aren't too terrible. At least he can hold his gun, and he can get into some good poses anyway due to his legs. So yeah, I really like him. And if you really like this review, think about giving me a thumbs up, subscribing, sharing, commenting. T-Man978 out of here. Until my next review, which is coming up very soon, because I'm going to film that right now after I finish talking. Bye-bye.